Midsummer day in Sweden. Very muggy. We're expecting thunder, so we have to see. And spontaneous as always. So I'm gonna sit here and take some bits of my coffee and enjoy. See if someone is showing up or not, because as usual I don't say anything before. So we have to see. When people might be busy, maybe they're sleeping still, or maybe it's very late in US, so they're not even awake yet. Anyway. Gonna see. We can sit here. I'm just spontaneous today, so. Hello, Cosmic. How are you? Have you celebrated Midsummer, or do you celebrate maybe solstice? Hello, Sing. How are you? And how are you? It's Midsummer Day. It's very muggy here. We're expecting a very bad thunder, but not sure when it's coming in. When I was awake earlier, so it was around 7 a.m. in the morning, and it was sunshine. Now it's very dark and it's very muggy, and it's start come raindrops too, so we don't know. Hello, Star Raven. I'm morning to you. Happy solstice. How are you? Oh, it's raining during the night, but it's perfect when it's raining during the night because you're not gonna do anything else, so it's better that. But we don't even know when it's coming, and they couldn't be sure how bad it's gonna be. They say it can be a really bad thunder today and for a very long time. They have changed the prognosis several times, and sometimes it says early in the morning, and sometimes it says a little later, but still with the risk of getting it earlier. So, hello, Awidi, how are you? Nice to see so many shows up already, so thank you very much, and happy solstice and happy midsummer. Midsummer Eve is crazy in Sweden because that's probably the most biggest celebration during the year, and you can tell it was Midsummer Eve yesterday because it was so silent the most of the hours during the whole day and even long time into the evening, because most Swedes are traveling away to the ocean, to the coast, and celebrate there, and the people that don't do it go to the countryside, or they go to other things during the day, so no one is home, so it was so silent and quiet and calm. So what is Midsummer Day? It's like a pagan holiday, you can see, that still lives here in Sweden and they couldn't take away from us, so I thought it's 1 a.m. and fading fast, but so glad I saw you go live. Yeah, I guess it's late. Here it's not that late. I can see if I can see what the clock is. It's 10 a.m. here, so it's not that much yet. So, but it's I've been up already for some hours and that type of things because we've been big shopping for the last week before the vacation. At least I'm gonna be off for 2 weeks, so we have to see what we're gonna do. So. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. in the UK, so it's 1 hour after. So, but I think it's good that at least some people have around the same time. It's a little hard when you're gonna connect the whole world because it's so many time differences there. So, depending on where you live, and like Awidi lives in Las Vegas, so it's even more west in US, so it's gonna change even there in the time limit too. So, oh, thank you very much. I actually used the palette, the main colors from. I got from Nightmare Bliss once upon a time, and the palette is called Witching Hour, and I don't now I forgot the brand, but it's one of the one that she really loved to use. So grateful, so yeah, I am for you. It's not for me because I live in Sweden. I live in the future compared with you probably. So yeah, I'm looking forward to vacation. It's only 2 weeks this year, but we have to deal with it, and we're gonna see what we can afford to do because we need to do something at least because we don't know what's gonna happen in the rest of the year or beginning of next either. So, thank you very much. I tried to get outside my comfort zone, so it's some type of reddish together with purple, and then I used little other things too, like a pinkish shimmer on top. Of course, I used white and this white thing from another brand, so because I need white too in my makeup look. So, and I decided to have those angry eyebrows today. So we're gonna see if someone is gonna complain on my eyebrows too. So, but what have people been up to? Are you celebrating something during those days? Because I know it's different from country to country. Midsummer Eve is, like I said, a very big holiday when people go and they dance around the pole, eat good food, and when they dance around the pole, they also do this crazy song about the little frogs, and then they go around, ooh wakaka, ooh wakaka, ooh wakaka, like that, and pretend like being jumping frogs all the time. So it looks hilarious because it's both kids and adults that do the same, and it can be hundreds if you're in the right celebration spot too, especially when you go up in the country. We have a region that is called Dalarna that is very big with this type of tradition too, so they collect hundreds of people in the same place. Yeah, it's pole dancing, but not that adult version. But it's crazy dancing around the pole. So, or like some people try to joke about the big penis or something because it's like a fertile symbol from the paganism. So grateful for you really like the music on your channel with your lyrics. Thank you very much. I wish that I could do a little more with it. So it's just not the lyrics, most of it. It was only one song that had my voice, but after that they changed the rules and you had to pay for things, and I can't afford to pay for everything because I already pay for other things that is more important in my life. So the cost is building up, and right now I try to take them down. So I'm not gonna have a lot of things that go out if I don't find a job before December. But I got a work coach now, and I actually met him this last week, and he was looking at my CV and everything, and he said it's nothing wrong with the CV, it's just that we need to get people to focus on not just your age, because I'm old now, so sometimes they think that old people can't work. I don't understand why. At least check with the workplace you are at so you can see what you can do or not can do. And if they check on my CV itself, they're gonna see that I can do a lot of different stuff. Yeah, I heard about that thing. I actually saw that one too, and it's a bit hilarious and crazy too. We don't really I shouldn't want to jump from a big hill just because I'm getting older to get room for the youngsters, if you know what I mean, because then it should mean that I'm soon gonna be on the top of that hill. And I don't approve that choice of life. If I'm gonna die, at least I want to choose when and where, and not in that type of way, because even if I sometimes work on the heights, I don't want to go on the top of a very big hill to jump down, if you know. So that was a bit over the top. So, but I heard that type of question when people sometimes have asked me when that movie was released, and they asked, "Are you really celebrating that way?" I said, "Are you fucking mad? Because if we should do that, a lot of Swiss should sit in jail for it because it's not allowed to do that thing. Even if you think sometimes that the politicians are going that way when they try to higher the pension age and even try to make it less with money too. So maybe that's the only solution we're gonna have can afford when we get older, to do that type of thing, sacrifice ourselves." Yeah. But they can't get me to jump with this, so you don't have to celebrate it. Lida summer solstice. I do stuff normally on the June 21. Yeah, I know that the date is a bit floating, and I know that my friend Michelle in Wales have done some ceremony. She said they usually do it in two different ones, one during the evening and one early in the morning. But this year she didn't have energy and her body is not working that well, so she said I'll only do once. But I know she probably done something amazing, and I know that some years when she showed the things she done for Lifa, so they look amazing, the things she used in her ceremonies. So you're young, at least you can convince your body you are slow, or even stop aging. Words or spells or program, just what I have learned to practice. I'm not sure I can say that I'm that young when I'm gonna be 58 in August, so but I'm still too young to stop working, so I still need to have something to pay my bills with, if you know what I mean. So but we can celebrate for a few days. Yeah, of course we can. It's just that we need the right circumstances and all the right stuff, and I know that in UK you have fabulous places to go to, and I forgot that the place where Inkiwa Succubus is from, but I think Michelle usually go there at least once or twice a year for bigger things too, and there's all this witchy type of stuff, and that focus on ceremonies, the mental thing and the spiritual thing, and I should like to see that one time too. So yeah, so it should be amazing. But right now, I'm just focused on getting something. But first, I'm gonna have my vacation because if I haven't got anything right now, so then at least I'm gonna have my 2 weeks vacation. So we have to see. I'm gonna enjoy that too and see what we can do. It's a lot of things going on, but the most things are cost a lot of money too. So we have to see. So we're gonna have to plan something and play day by day, and see what we can do the best of the situation. So, are you doing something fun this weekend, though? And I need to drink my coffee. And what's better up to use this mug, of course. Must show my true face. Mm. Back to you. Yeah, so it's nice to know that, and I have some things in my mind, but I'm not sure I can convince Trevor to everything. I know that the first Saturday, not this Saturday, but about 1 week from now, because during this week, I'm think on Thursday, Subcool Festival and have the first day, and I think Marisa is going there. I haven't seen her post anything yet, but if I remember right, she had tickets for Subcool Festival in this year. They have some bands that I should want to see, but it's way too expensive for me, even just for one day. And I work till Friday, so it's a little hard. It's only one day left, but there are some bands even during the Saturday I should want to see. But I know that on the Saturday they also have a Victorian picnic in one park in Trollhättan, and I would love to go there too. But it's over 1 hour drive there, so it can be a little hard to convince the other part yeah, to actually go there. Plus, they expect you to be a little more updressed too, and I should love to put on Victorian inspired outfit too, because I know that a lot of people, when I went to Zuko Festival and there too, and we went to the Gothic picnic too in that park when they had it in Vänersborg, so they looked amazing, those people that make these gatherings. So good night, Audi, and I'm very happy that you can at least join for a little while. I didn't plan anything, and maybe next time I can go a bit earlier. But then I know that I can lose the European friends because most people maybe will sleep earlier. So, but it's always some person I have to sacrifice for the moment, and that's why I think it's so absolutely fabulous when I can actually go and see the live streams from Bones in Black. I hope I said it right now. But with Sage and her husband Sean, and when they do the live streams, they see you on the dance floor, because they do it very early in the mornings, and I'm often up very early too, because I used to go up that early for work and that type of thing. So I'm very happy that I can join them and gathering with the like-minded all over, especially in US then. Did you like Skinny Puppy? They just stopped touring like a year ago. I saw them in 91 in the Dark Park tour. Yeah, I do like some bits of them. I had a friend back in the days in 2000s that we called Nivek that was very crazy about them. So I couldn't really avoid Skinny Puppy, but I like that part of music too. And maybe not everything, but it's a little like Nine Inch Nails too. I don't like everything with Nine Inch Nails, but I do like them too. As long as I love the songs and I can dance to it and have fun with my friends, it's completely right. So bye bye, Audi. Big golf hearts for you and hugs. Take care. So yeah, I hope I haven't missed someone, because sometimes this chat, when you go directly on YouTube, you can miss a lot of big things, especially when you're sitting and can't follow everything. And I'm a little short-sighted too, so I have to go a little closer sometimes to see exactly what it says. So, but yeah, but I should love to go at least to the Victorian picnic. And then there's other things going on. I know that Anna mentioned the Viking place in southern part of Sweden that is called Fotoviken. And I know they have, I think they started now around the 22nd, when they actually have real actors going around that too. So it's like a Viking village. It's not just like a market or something. It's actually a village where they have people that come all from all over the Europe, most of them, and they actually are the actors that have the like living Vikings in place. And if I have read right too, you can actually be called by them and be like a prisoner or slave or something too in those times. So you can be one part of this thing going on too. But you don't have to do that if you don't want it. So it's up to you. But it would be amazing to go there too. But it depends. Yeah, Sweden can be lovely too, but it's a very bit different country too because it's not that many people living here compared with a lot of places in US. Because even if you take just one place like Los Angeles or something, it's live more people in Los Angeles than in whole Sweden. And Sweden is a very long country, and in some parts it's more people living in just in a few towns. And Stockholm is our capital town on the east coast part of the roundish middle of Sweden, and the most people are living there. And then the second biggest is Gothenburg. It's on the southwest and not far away from where I live. It takes around 30-40 minutes by car on the highway to reach Gothenburg, and that's my favorite town number one, and I love to go there. We're probably gonna go there in July because there's no taxes to go into town then, because when you drive into Gothenburg you have to pay certain taxes when you come on the road. So but it's also about the seasons. If you're gonna go to Sweden, you need to know what you want to do, what type of person you are. Are you a winter person or are you a summer person? Do you like to party or do you like the countryside? You know, all that type of different things, because some things are just for season and you can't see them. It's like if you're coming just for the northern light, you might come during winter time, and then you have to go maybe up to the northern part to be secure to actually see it very good. So it takes a lot of planning, so it's not that simple, and it's not always you can use trains, flights, or even buses for getting to some of the places. So you need to plan what you're gonna do. But of course, if you stay in Stockholm or Gothenburg or Malmö or something, then it's so much easier. So, hello, Jonathan. But when people ask what you can recommend, so I usually ask the person, what are you interested of? Because that's the main issue, because you need to say, so like castles and that type of things are usually mainly open during summer season, during a part. And the most best part is when it's tourist season and high season, because then they also have other things open around it. So if you need to eat or something, you need to check all those things up, because it's not sure you have that type of things close where the castle is either. So you need to plan things. We're about to get a heat wave in the UK. We'll have to switch from black to navy blue. Thank you for your lovely videos. And you're welcome. I never switch color just for a heat wave. I go with whatever I want, but I was thinking of maybe wear a little more white this year, because I do like this white look too, like a white goth or ice goth. But I also find out that you can call it for a ghost goth too if you don't feel that comfy. So pretend you are a ghost in the graveyard or something and wear white. But you can add it with black parts too, so you can have like a white look with black accessories too, if that feels better. So I thought I should maybe try to do that a little more this summer. But today we were expecting thunder, and I can feel the changing. It went very fast during just 1 hour between 7 and 8 a.m. The weather changed from very hot, sunshine, and to very dark and muggy. And when I've been out recently, it started to come raindrops too, but I think it's not here yet. But you can feel the pressure in the air. It's very muggy for the moment, so it's not that cool really. I should want to put on the fan, but then you can't hear me that properly. You're gonna just hear the fan going, and that's not really nice, because we don't have air conditioning in Sweden. And I know that lots of people in UK don't have it either, because Trevor's from UK too, so I know how hot summers can be. And it was actually funny, the first summer she went to UK and meet Trevor there. And he was warning me about the rainy weather in UK, and he didn't know that I come from Borås in Sweden, and Borås is known for being very rainy. So I was thinking, I don't think it's gonna change my mind that much about UK and the weather, because I'm used to rain. But when I came over the first time, they actually had a heat wave too with hardly any rain at all. So I was saying, where is the rain? Where is the rain? And now when he lives in Sweden since is it 2016 or something, and now he very pissed off when it comes to rainy weather, because he said if they promise rain in this area, it's gonna rain. So it don't have to be a high percentage in the weather forecast either to be rain here. So but we are in the valley, even if the part we live in is not in the valley itself, because we live just a bit outskirts from that. so we don't get in the worst often. Aircon in the UK is desperately needed. It's desperately needed even here, I can tell, because I don't like when it's go this muggy and that type of thing. It's very hard to sleep when it's go hotter too. It start already when it's around 20-25 degrees being hard to sleep. And it don't help to have the windows open because the flats here are built to keep the heat too. So even if it goes cooler on the outside and the inside stays warm. So last summer when it was so bad, so it was really bad. You wanted to go somewhere when it's cooler, but when you went inside, it was actually hotter inside. So it's terrible. It's terrible. It's nothing good. Uh, Good morning or noon, Gary from Sweden to New Zealand. I saw that you were watching Black Friday's live stream yesterday too. So, and it's actually cool that in Black Friday have done at least 2 live streams in very short time too. And I think she's been a little more focused to be on YouTube right now too, after what happened with that other YouTuber. But I'm actually happy that she actually won that fight and proved her very, very wrong about all the things he was saying about the Freya. It was terrible things and no proof at all, just comments from someone else and no really concrete evidence on anything. No, I understand that thing. It's very hard. I had cats too when I was younger, especially when I had flats too, and you have to have nets or something on the balcony. And where I live now, the windows are going in another direction when you have them open too, so you can't put something to secure it, and the balcony don't have anything to secure a net on either, so I can't really have a cat in that type of place too. I want to be able to secure because the highway is not that far away, and if cats go outside, they have a very big territorium too. So even if you have castrated them and that type of things, they're still gonna go in a very big area. So I don't want them to be run over by a car or something when there's so many cars around. So. I love Duran Duran too. It's from my younger days too. And actually, is this anybody here that saw the new film about Iron Maiden? I saw it last weekend, and it was actually very interesting too to see all the story with Eddie and Bruce Dickinson and the rest of the gang too. Even if I'm not a metalhead, but Trevor is. But if you can be open-minded to all type of documentaries, I could recommend that one, and I can also recommend the one that was about Billy Idol because that was a really good one too. So we have 2 other documentaries that we're gonna see. We're gonna see the one about Michael Jackson, and we're gonna see the one about the Depeche Mode. I think he got one too. So I'm looking forward to see them too. I wish they could do a documentary about Sisters of Mercy too. That should be brilliant, but I'm not sure that Andrew agree about it too. So, or about the other British bands too, like The Missions or Fields of Nephilim or something like that. That should be fantastic to see some documentaries about them too, with Sue and the Banshees. I guess they might maybe have something. I don't know. I haven't looked if there are any documentaries about it. I know there is books about it because Budgie have. I had a book from Budgie, for example, when he wrote a lot of about Sue and the Benches too, and when he joined as a drummer and that type of thing. So, do you all have any suggestion of documentaries when it comes to music and bands and that type of thing? You don't have necessarily to be about golf, just good ones. So you can tell me. I'm open-minded to all. Yeah, like I usually said, golfs don't have to stick in just one box. You need to love golf music to be that and be respectful and that. But you don't have to listen to just one thing. I don't think anyone is listening to just one thing because then they are lying. And you were listening to something before you found golf too. So don't try to say you never did it. I saw Sisters Mercy at the Colosseum in Croatia. Such a great gig. Yeah, I saw them just before COVID too here in Gothenburg, and I'm actually gonna see them later this year too because they're coming back to the same place. So I'm looking forward, but it's not before November, so I have to still to wait for it. So I did buy the tickets just to have something really good to look forward to. Hello, Robert. How are you? Have you practiced on any new song on your guitar, sir? Yeah, I liked your covers. But sometimes I feel like you're getting a little stressed after you start really good, Robert. Don't take me wrong. You start really good when you have the combis, but then you got a little more. I don't know if you get more energy or feel more confident, but then you go like more aggressive in it. So I would love to hear the same versions but less aggressive, if you know what I'm meaning, because I think they should sound even better if you try to get that energy down. I know that it can be very nice to show all that thing, but sometimes I think to tone down some bits can even be better. So yeah, and I think that's where you maybe get a bit more aggressive when it comes from the metal background too, because they play in other type of way the music too. So uh, let me see, I missed something. That I saw a great documentary called Resonator about a woman rebuilding an obsolescent her dad invented. That sounded interesting. Is it a new one or and which woman is it all about? Because a lot of like the Patch Mod and everything like that is built, and you know all the other bands too. And that's so bad a name. You know that Sherry Michael something. You know the very famous synthesizer thing they had in the Paris with a big laser show. Also when he still was alive, that was incredible. The punk songs are more natural for me, but the jazz stuff is very challenging. Yeah, but sometimes we need the challenges because if we don't dare to stick outside the different boxes, so how should we evaluate ourselves to do something more? Sometimes you need to go outside the comfort zone. It's like when I do the makeup today, I did go outside my comfort zone because this is not colors I usually should go for. And now suddenly the sun comes, so excuse me if the lighting is shifting because it's go very bright outside, so it can be like just before everything starts because we're expecting the big thunder weather today, so I'm not sure when it starts. So, but it's still very muggy, so I feel sweaty even without doing anything. So, but yeah, I do like punk too, and a lot of other songs too. Mm. Not a documentary, but I stumbled on a movie made by the singer of DRI for the original drummer of the Dead Kennedys, Cold Free Acid. I was glued to this strange movie. Hello, Anna. Have you been to Fotovikens Viking place yet? Because I know they're gonna open at least around the 22nd when it comes, I guess, with having Vikings in place. And Great Folsom, that sounded interesting too. I had one old ex that was actually very much into Dead Kennedys, but I could tell he shouldn't play it while he was driving because you should see how much he started to speed when he was listening to Dead Kennedys. It went very fast. It's very nerve-wracking to inform people. I get very nervous. Of course you get nervous. I should say that if you never get nervous, how should you know that you're doing your best? Because if you're too confident, you don't actually have the right feeling for it and how people should react to everything too. They have a market last week in June, but I don't know if I go there. Okay, because I have that in mind that maybe we should try to get them to Fotoviken because it sounds amazing with all the real actors in place too. But it's a long drive too from where we live, so it's gonna take a lot of planning and it's gonna cost a lot too. So we have to see what we think is worth, and of course of the weather because it's outdoors. So it's not like you can count with having something over your head if it starts being bad weather. I once saw with David Byrne Talking Head show where he turned a whole warehouse into an instrument. Best gig ever. Also, Dandy Warhol's Brian Jones to tell Massacre documentary is so good. Oh, thank you for giving more things. And if you see this thing going up on something else, just put it down in the comment too, because I'm very fast to forgetting things too. That's why people drink and take drugs when they have play loud. I don't think it's that the real truth, Robert, all the time, because there's a lot of artists that never took anything. So I think it's just the lifestyle that people expect them to have, but it's very easy to fall down in it. And if you watch documentaries like Billy Idol's, you're gonna understand that, and even Iron Maiden's latest documentary, that many artists went into that trap. And Bruce Dickinson was actually the first that I also saw in this type of movie that said that he didn't use that kind of stuff because when he came to Iron Maiden, he was offered to have this white stuff, but he completely say no with the words that I don't use that kind of stuff. And the people that usually gave it to the band members was okay. That was strange. Hmm. Yeah, it's nice. I heard a lot of good stuff there too when I met people on the other Viking market, especially the one in Ale, because they have been there with their stalls and everything too. So they recommend Fotevik and so. Yeah, but I guess it's just about practice and trying to be more secure. But I think you still should be a little bit nervous about your performance because that's natural. And I've listened to other artists when they have talked about that type of feeling too. So if they also agree about it, if you never feel a little bit nervous, then you maybe don't do your best. So don't take it like a bad thing. Just try to find a way to calm you down a bit, but you can still be a bit nervous. And I know how it is to be nervous too, because I had competed on horses and that type of things too. I'm very nervous before too, but I also know that if I shouldn't be that, I probably shouldn't do the best from myself either in that type of things. Yeah, and that's true, Cosmic. It means that you really care about that everything should go well, and the people that are watching you also gonna think just the same. Hmm. Yeah, but I think the most places are getting expensive now, and I have watched even the local zoo here, and I'm not gonna go there anymore because it's way too expensive, even for just paying the card to get it down, so you can go more often. But even the card have gone up so much, so I'd rather go to a zoo that have more things that I'm interested in because other things have lost a lot of the animals that I was interested to watch of different reasons. So I'd rather travel away some bits and go and see the things I want to see and not just see a lot of screaming kids in the parks and building for the kids instead for doing something more about animals. Hmm. Well, that must be good words, but Robert, because if you won't think that, so take that thing with you. Yeah, but some people use that thing. I have fibromyalgia, but I should never want to take any drugs for it either because I want to try to find a way without using anything. And in Sweden, it's not legal all the time, and it can be problem with your driving licenses and that type of things too when you work sometimes too when you have that type of substance in your body. Plus, I have done a surgery that make my body not be able to take all type of drugs too. I can't take all type of the painkillers either because then it can actually kill me in the end if it goes really bad. Hmm. Still, just a few years ago, got in for free at the market if you had proper Viking attire, and I will not pay 25 euro to go there to be an unpaid worker and part of what people want to see. If they take 25 euro when you come in costume, I say costume now, Anna, it's not in a bad way, but so people understand that you're dressed like a Viking. Then I think it might be a bit expensive if I compare with other things because I usually pay around 100, maximum 150 when I go to medieval and Viking markets in my areas. But then, of course, if you come in real popular, at least when you go to Ale, I think they take the half price of it. So I think you paid 120 or something, if I remember right, the price this year. And then I talk about the Swedish krona, that is around this 12 euro in that type of case, or around this 12 American dollars, but maybe 10 British pounds to get in. So then you pay just the half price if you had the right clothes on you. And then I can understand that you think it's a bit expensive if you already have the clothes on too. So let's see, always below my promise, self-critical. Yeah, but I think that is different cultures too, because in Sweden, weed and that type of stuff is considered as a drug. So I think that's why. And I have seen backsides with a lot of different things too. So I never been interested in it too. I don't even drink alcohol, and I don't even smoke ordinary cigarettes and that type of things either. So that's why. And I have always open with that I don't do those things. So I'm still me. Hmm. You can still be cool without using things. What's Sing saying? I'm going to a con next year and they are looking for volunteers to help out and you get free entry into the con, but I'd rather go and enjoy myself. Yeah, it's little ups and downs. A little like I seen the Subculture Festival. I have done some ads about they need more people to help during the festival next week. And then you get free, you get somewhere to sleep, maybe not a luxury, you get a tent or you sleep in like a backpack place or something with a lot of beds in. So you share it with a lot of other people, and then you have to help with it, depending on what the thing that puts you on. But then you can be there for free during the whole festival if you're there for 3 days and helps out too. But I guess if you're gonna help on a festival or on a con or something, you can't really enjoy it in the same way like you go that as you have paid because you still need to do stuff. Of course, if you just want to meet the people and you maybe are happy to be close to where they have the gigs you like to be, so you can at least hear it in place, then I can understand if that's good. I was thinking of maybe do that, but for at least one day. But I thought they probably have a lot of people that do it for all 3 days, so I'm not going to do that for just one day. So Mary Shelley's House of Frankenstein is here in Bath. It sounds amazing. I do like that type of places, and uh, I remember when I was to that place in Blackpool, so that was really cool. I actually saw someone I followed that actually showed a new video from that place too, so it was really nice to see that place again with the Frankenstein and then uh, Terror from Elm Street type of things and everything like that, the horror stuff there. And yeah, it was great. I wish we had something similar over here because that would be awesome. But at least my town is very boring. But I know they're gonna have a band playing in. No, I forgot if it was. Maybe it was September. That is called Besiege. That is an old goth rock band from this town, and they're actually gonna play on Saga Teatern. So we have to see. It's not public published on the page yet about it, so you can't buy any tickets. But I think it's gonna cost around 200 Swedish krona, so that is around 20 euro or 20 American dollars, maybe around 18 British pounds. So get in to see them. And I used to know it too from the original band itself, but they're not in the band anymore. But it's also nice to see them back on stage, and I know they're gonna be on Subculture Festival and too. So I missed something again. Eldergoth is considered a drug is because they would rather poison people with the chemical byproducts that they sell. I think the most things do, at least when I have seen what have with American food and that type of things, because it's just I follow even Americans that come over to UK for an example, and they said their lifestyle has changed so much when they started to live in the UK. They had dropped in weight so much just by changing the type of food, and when they start to realize how much bad things are in, and generally when it comes to Europe and Sweden and UK and that type of things, we don't eat that type of products. It's not allowed to have it here, so it's a lot of difference. So yeah, going on the phone now, so I put off the sound and just use the chat. Yeah, okay, hope this goes well. Yeah, I'm seeing Lebanon have Northern March next week. Yeah, they're really good, and I love when he dances too because his dance style is really. You want to start dancing yourself too. He's really mad. So, and then I think he was from UK, and but I have seen them on Subco Festival when I went there. So, and I feel sorry for people in the US too over the situation, but it's going worse everywhere too. If I understand right, when I talk with people, no matter where they live, it goes crazy, and even Sweden goes crazy. So I get it's gonna be a big shift who's gonna run this country after autumn when we have the voting and everything, because it goes really bad. They don't care about the immigrants, no reason if they are good immigrants or bad immigrants or whatever. They have take every reason to try to send them away, and plus all the bad stuff that's happening, and they don't even want Swedes that is the working class or lower classes to even existence, because start to get even worse. And if you get without any job, they say you're lazy. But it's not our fault if companies is closing. Like my company is closing. Last November is my last official working day because my company decided to, we're not gonna run this warehouse anymore. So goodbye with all of you. Even if you're the only warehouse in Sweden that go with Plus during under our brand. So we're still gonna say goodbye to you. So, and we are going with Plus. It's no problem. We have all customers. The customer is satisfied with us and everything and love our work. But that didn't matter. And some of the customers not even staying under this company anymore because they didn't like what they did. So, but we can't do anything. And then the government and those people that sit up, the politicians say that if you lose your job, you're just lazy. And they even make our I don't know what they call it when you got some pay whilst you are unemployed, but you have to pay for it too, and they take it from the taxes too, and now make it worse as you're not gonna get so much money. And I wonder what people know when prices and everything goes up, and when you don't get a job, you apply for hundreds of jobs and you don't even get an answer of many of them. So now I had to import a lot of fish and cheese to America because they don't trust the food quality. Yeah, but I guess that's gonna be very expensive for US too because all the tariffs too. And someone that decided about the tariff thought that it should punish the countries that export it, but it punished the people that buy it in US. For a free country, we encounter more people than the rest of the world combined. If you're made redundant, then that's not your fault. It's like in the UK in the 80s, it was mad. I'm 18 and I applied to 3 jobs and got rejected from them. Yeah, and that's hard things because even they say that it's easy to get a job once you have a job. So I started already from day one when I heard that we're gonna just have for just around 1 year our place. But then it took away a month. So first it was the whole year out, and then decided no, it's just till last in November you have works. So then I was thinking, okay, I start apply for works. I've been on 2 working interviews and 1 digital interview, but the most time I haven't heard anything. And it's so ridiculous tests too, even for ordinary works too. And I was thinking, what am I searching for, applying for? Because why do they have those crazy tests? I don't understand it. Why have they changed this type of way? They don't really see what you can do and not can do. And now they also look to your age. Younger people have the bad things because they don't have the experience. They might have some of the educations they asked for, but then they don't have the experiences. So that's bad. And when you get to a certain level of age, okay, you can't work anymore because they think you are slow, you don't want to learn anything new, you're not good at works. But they don't even check how it works at your work. You know what I mean? Go to the references. They can talk with the people at the work you are at right now. And I have noticed that even if you get younger people in nowadays, so I sometimes wonder if I can't go through the different things, how did they get the works? Because they are useless, many of them, or they don't even want to try do it right. I don't know. So I wonder why it's so hard even for me that have the experiences. And I have even tried to apply to even travel to my works. I'm having a certain circle around where I live, how far I can go for work. So when I was growing up in the early 2000 and the recession hit in 2008, I thought it was horrible. But my mom said this was nothing compared to what it was like in the 80s. Yeah, it was sometimes tough during the 80s, but I don't remember it was so bad as it is like now. I think it's gonna go worse too. If the politicians gonna continue the way they do and the world go as mad as it is, it's gonna be tougher. And if we don't end up in a world war again, I should be surprised because right now you have people that are so crazy after having this power, but they want things and they don't want to accept that it is not their countries and that type of thing, and the people in those countries want to be free people too in their own countries. So just saying, compassion and caring for each other worldwide is the way to stop all the darkness that's been ruling. Love is the way, seeing that differences in all of the us is in the real beauty of the world. I agree that we should respect that we are difference as long as we respect each other and don't harm others or animals. So lived through in the 80s in the UK was pretty cool, but my mom did say she was constantly scared because of Russia. Yeah, we had a Cold War going on, but I was living during the 80s too, Robert, so don't forget that. We live even closer to Russia than UK, so and we today have even more um, visits from the Russian army that shouldn't be allowed. So it's happened a lot of incidents lately. It's going even crazy. The more the war in Ukraine goes on, the worse in Russia start to be. And then you have, of course, what's going on with Israel and Trump and that type of things that don't make it easier. And then we got crazy heads like in North Korea, and you know, I don't know where this world is going. If it's not blowing up soon, I don't know. So we have to see, and I think this start to be maybe a bit worse now than the Cold War, because now it's another type of war. It's not about the man against man on the fields. Now it's about drones and that type of things, because the Ukraine soldiers, we had a big military exercise here in Sweden not far that long ago. That calls Aurora, I think, and come from different countries inside the NATO, but they practice a lot of different things, and they actually have over some active soldiers from Ukraine that use the drone technique, and they actually took out the most of the NATO forces. So there were just a few people with their drones against the rest, and for them it was no problem to take them out. And so all the NATO people learned a big lesson that the old methods with the soldiers on the field is not what it's all about anymore. It's all about the technique, AI and the drones and all that type of stuff, long way missiles and that thing. So I don't even think that we need to be soldier against soldier. That is just for the site to make it look a certain way, and maybe take away the attention from some bits so they can send in other bits instead. So yeah, I really hope that it's not gonna happen, and if it happens, it happens so fast we don't even gonna notice it. So most sources say World War III is not going to be happen. Kron, the magnetic master channeled by League Shadow, is loving and not been wrong in 35 years of mess. I'm not 100% sure about that, because I heard a lot of other stuff from people that are into a lot of things. They have seen visions and that type of thing, so they don't agree maybe with that type of thing. Yeah, I think that too, Robert, actually. So if we don't do anything, but the positive news was that actually Ukraine had been accepted to start to join EU, but it's about years before that goes through. We never know how long time that's gonna be, but I think that's gonna upset Russia even more, and especially now when Ukraine actually start to fight back and send in drones into Moscow. So, and at least they are playing fair. They are sending the drones to the energy things like the oil places and that type of thing. They're not sending on people. But I've seen when the Russians send in their drones and that type of things, they're going after ordinary people. It's not like they're going after soldiers, they're going after normal people. They actively go for them. And that is even worse because it's against every type of rule that you don't do it. They go for medical people, they go for old people, they go for young people, they go for kindergartens, hospitals, you name it. They don't bother anything as long as they're gonna try to win. But they're not gonna win this war if they continue this way, because they can't have that much money left for it. So it's only if they use the disaster weapons, maybe they can do some change, and that can't be that far away either if they start. And like Finland also said that they can see a big movement of they moving a lot of the military forces closer to the border along Finland and Norway, because if we look at the map, we have the west side of Russia, so Finland have the longest border towards that thing, and then you have a little bit that is Norway, and top bit there is very close to Sweden too. Plus Sweden have an island that is named Gotland. It is a very strategic point in the Baltic Sea too. So Russia is very interested in that part, and I think that's why we have a lot of submarines and other ships coming and try to get into the thing, or even spies that we have taken that have taken photos where they're not allowed to be even. So we're not living in a war where people fight. We are living in an information war. Yeah, we have already have those attacks, and they are continuing. And many of those attacks is actually from Russia too. So, but there are other type of wars too. It's not just that. But I don't think it's gonna be like soldier against soldier, because it's gonna be drones and other things going on, because they can take out so many people at the same time. Then you in with the sound again. Oh no, that sounds great. Anti-immigration policy is the beginning of fascism. I think the most of thing when you try to look down on people that are not in the top, that have the power, are the politicians, then you're already starting to fail, because it's not just immigration, but it's easy to steer a problem towards immigrants, so people don't realize that they're actually gonna hit themselves too, because they don't gonna count you in, because they never care about you either. So I understand that is the narrative. However, I'll give you no energy to the thought, and I lost trust in planet info and trust the source from all seeing non-physical beings, which we all are. Yep, always speak with my mom over the phone in the morning. She's 83. Oh, that's a good habit, Anna. I'm happy that you still have the contact. I miss my dad. He's been there for over 8 years now, and the rest of family I broke the bands after the funeral. So it's just Trevor, and that's gonna suffer if I need someone. So okay, I don't understand that language, so I don't know if it's Russia, because I can see they put down the word Russian in it. So. But I'm not angry at Russian people that are at least using their brains and know that things are wrong, because I have friends that is from Russia or live in some parts of Russia too, and they don't agree with this war either. It's brainwashing. It's brainwashing. Yeah, if you're still alive. Yeah, but maybe we take contact from the ghost side too, Anna. What do you say about that? The phone rings and you know the person is not here anymore, but still on the other side of, the speaker. I don't know if he's trolling me, because I don't understand what that says. So a lot of bands from Russia have actually relocated to America, for an example. Yeah, and I do know some of them too that have moved to US. So, but we don't know what happens, because some of the world want to throw out some of the people too. I can agree if you throw out the people that are on Putin's side and things. It's a little like I don't like American studies on Trump's side either. It's like pest, pest or plague or whatever you call it, plague or cholera or whatever. Russian cities are not the same thing as Putin bottleneck. Yeah, but it's a little diverse that too, because it's Russian people that think everything is right too, and they have been grown up in a way that they think is right what they're doing to Ukraine and other people too. They just want them to disappear, because they want more land to go on vacation for, and they even complain that now you can't go to that part of where we usually go on vacation, because they have used the drones and it's all everywhere. We can't take the swim or lay on the beach and blah blah blah. So so it's still those brainwashed, but there are normal people too that use the brains. Russia is very big. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're bigger than US. Not 100% sure that, so I'm not gonna tell that. But it's so spread. There's so many different type of people there. So yeah, but I think that it's very strange that they don't realize. At least he don't realize how much bad situation he is when it comes to Europe, because he always said, "Oh, we want them to move to US and something like that." But then we hear even bad stories about people being treated by ICE over that too. So, and I know that I can't get into US as it is like now, because if they're gonna shake everything I have posted, and I am totally against what Trump is doing right now. So I should be taken by ICE directly. It doesn't matter I have blue eyes and blonde hair and is Swedish, because you know. Um, Yeah, and I think that's the way they do with people. It's a little of just go back to the other world wars with Germany and that type of things. It was the same, and the people around them they didn't have a chance. It was about surviving. They maybe didn't even agree, but if you have to choose two different options, either you die or you try to survive. So many maybe decided to try to survive. They knew that it wasn't right, but what could they do? The other system was too big for them. So, and in my family, we had that when people actually did escape from Germany to fight with the Finnish people against Russia instead for fighting for the Nazi people in Germany. Russia is bigger than America and it has much more. Yeah, but their military things are so much older too, so it's not sure it's gonna work. So, but it's like I said, if it works, it can go right over to the US from the points they are stationed on. So I don't think it's gonna be like man to man in the most cases. If you're told certain things from you are small and you stop to watch what happens outside this country, then you are an easy victim for yeah, and I think they even have closed a lot of the internet for that type of information too. So even the one that maybe have used the brain and research themselves, they can't even get access outside. They try to find way around it, but it's not hard if you have people that rule the country and start taking away your possibilities. Just think if we lose everything around us, what we are used to get the information from and that type of thing, and they tell us a lot of things. Of course, we have to believe them because we can't get any other sources. So that's easy way to brainwash people. Take away the other information from things that don't have to do with them. That can go in a neutral way, telling what's going on. But if you don't get that information, how could you know the real story about it or see through it? Yeah, but I think it's start coming a little everywhere, Robert. It's not just there. So because they have started to do harder rules even for traveling inside EU and the over to UK and that type of things too. So it's not just there. I think they want to control the whole world. So yeah, he's totally screwed in that way, Robert. I'm screwed too because I post so much things since day one. I never believed that he could come back. To the top second time, and now he tried to get away with the third time, but it's not allowed if you look at the constitution and that type of things. But he don't care about the rules. He make his own rules and take away the rules that don't fit him for the moment. So mm, yeah, but I don't think it was funny anywhere when it comes to the Blitz and everything. Just watch how it was in London, for an example, during the wars. It was not that good to live in London either, with all the bombs going on and that type of thing. So, and I feel like my live stream now been much more serious than I was expecting. I was thinking Midsummer, and we're gonna talk more happy stuff instead. So now we're talking about serious stuff. Oh my gosh, oh, what a YouTube channel I am. Can't even keep it in a good, positive way. It goes down. So, but I said that my friend Eldergoth did a good video yesterday about this thing about blacks and other how much it contributes to our subculture when it comes to musical and other backgrounds too. And that I read about from another on Instagram that is black. I think it's a band or artist at least, and she said that she don't like when people go on the trend to support what they call 19th Ween or whatever they called it in USA for this day when they celebrated when they took away the slavery, and it's been trendy in some parts to show that type of support. But I always said that goth is a subculture for everyone as long as you show respect. They come in all type of colors, sizes, and that. Even religions, non-religious, and whatever. As long as you're respectful, love the music, goth, and don't harm others, so then you're welcome. That's my minimum, and I hope that's gonna stay that way. And I think that it's also important to talk about that it don't have to be about you have to have a white skin or something, because we can be pale in all type of ways too. Uh, we don't even have the same. I was always thinking goths looks more cooler in black hair. I had black colored hair for many years, but I'm blonde, so it's hard to deal with it. I had to stop with it because the hair took a lot of fight with all the hair coloring all the time. So, and it was a hard fight to recolor it every second and for a week to not show that you're actually blonde from start. So, oh, now it went very fast here again. I'm not that keen on the Illuminati things because I think there are fucking bullshit people too. So sorry. I had so many invitations from the Illuminati, so um, sorry if the camera because my stand is not that good as my old one. Goth is always been political, Robert. It's about we being able to be ourselves no matter what and live in a type of world that is good for everyone. So it came from the punk scene. So it's not that like it's been political. It's just that sometimes the political view has changed in the wrong direction. So people forgot what it's all about from the 80s or maybe even the end of 70s. Yeah, you don't have to be angry about that. I don't think you should have write to me if you were into Trump because people that know me know that I don't support that side at all. So you don't have to excuse yourself. I have so many American friends too, so I know that it's not their fault. It's just the other people that are fucking stupid. And I couldn't even understand that he won again. And you see how fast it went bad this time, so it's easy yeah, but it looks very angry for me. Yeah, I'm old fashioned, my Generation X, and I was told when you write with big letters, that means that you're screaming, and screaming is like being angry or something. So double dip. Yeah, but I don't think we should discriminate people for how they look like because you can't decide where you're from because I'm also have native heritage, but I have that thing that the native side of me don't necessarily have to be colored skin. The summer can be very dark, at least during summer. My dad was very dark during summer. So he looked like an immigrant. When we went outside the borders many times, when he came back from Denmark, he had to show that he was actually a Swede when he came back, and he was so angry because he said, "Can't you see that I'm Swedish?" And I looked at him with black hair and this very dark face and everything. No, we can't see that you're a Swede, even if he had blue eyes. So at least I'm looking that way. I don't have to show my passport. That obviously when I go over the border here, at least, because. But I don't think you can judge someone to be a goth after the hair color or the skin color, or if you believe in something or not, because it's not about that. It's about the music and to be respectful towards other people. So the thing is, then if you do not vote, then you cannot complain afterwards. The wrong people won, and it was many people in the U.S. that choose not to vote at all in the last election. Yeah, but it can be that it was not able to get to the election too because there was a lot of things going on, and I think it's gonna be worse the next time they're gonna have a big election because Trump gonna do everything to see that his wrong side is not gonna win. So, and I think that's sad that if we have countries that you have the free right to do your voting, that should be. And I'm a little afraid where Sweden is going right now too, with the people that we have now in the power too. So if not gonna be any changing, so what says that we are not soon where US are? There actually are some politicians that were been discriminated inside the European Parliament when they now voted for that thing about immigration and that type of stuff, that actually now got hater messages from the right-leaning side, if you know what I mean, the Nazist side, like Sverigedemokraterna in Sweden and other similar thing inside Europe. So that's that's not easy to say that it has to do with things, but yeah, I know that people want to talk about a lot of those things too because it's so obviously when you put on all the news, it doesn't matter if you go on Instagram, if you go on YouTube, if you listen to the radio or watch the TV on the news. So it's always about those negative stuff. So we forgot that we have good stuff going on too, and we can actually have people that actually for doing all the great stuff too. That really want the world to change and that people should be able to be who they are. So I have part of it. I don't know so much about it, but the sad thing about my part that is comes from my dad's mom's side. In Sweden, we call that type of granny for farmor, and it was her dad. I suspect is from that heritage because we can't find anything when we try to look into the family tree. But we know we have that. But back in the days when she was a young girl, they were treated in the same way like Native Americans are. And it was really racial things going on. They still fight a lot and it started getting worse in the north part of Sweden too when it comes to that. I see even in Norway and in some parts of Russia that is close to Sweden and Norway that the Sami people have the same problem when it comes to that type of thing. So it's not that easy to be a native person. And I wish I knew more about my background too, because I feel like I lose out a lot of that type of things from my life that I would love that should explain more how I feel about things, because I was never exactly the same as even as a kid. It was something else about it, something I feel myself attracted to, and I think that's why I don't believe in Christianity either. So I'm not even Christian. So um, let's see what the people said. Yeah, it's hard to vote, and I should just wish that you can vote for different things, like how you wanted the healthcare system to be, how the school system, how the system for the elder people wanna be, and that type of things, how it's gonna work, so all people gonna live a good life. If you could just vote for that type of matters, not for a political party, because I think most of them sucks. And if they promise things, they're never gonna keep it anyway, because they only think of themselves. So. Let's see, whatever. Uh, yeah, but not every native people are that dark either, so we can't go after the skin color. And that's why I say, even when it comes to goth and the gothic subculture, you can't check your skin color. It's not what makes you goth. So, yeah. It's very serious. Talking. I don't know if it scared away people in this type of way. I don't know. Can we start talking about something better now? I guess we are all agree about this world is mad, that is the wrong people runs a lot of countries all over the world, that we all want to change to the better. So yeah, but we always gonna be divided in some type of way. If we all was just one box, Robert, should we be individual else? Should we have a goth subculture too? If everything was just the same? I don't think so. Boo! Yeah, we need lots of great music. We need a lot of great music. I can agree about that. So I think sometimes we need to let those serious matters actually go away for a moment, because we need to have something that fills us with a positive energy too, so we can have the spirit to fight against all the bad things too. I can understand the cosmic because I've seen what happens with people too. So, but I'm supportive to that type of things. As long as everyone is respectful. For me, it's about the persons. It's not about what you are or how you look like and that type of thing. Muffles is a great music. Yeah, they are a great band too. So, don't remember. I saw them post something. I don't know. Did they post something about the combination with Sisters of Mercy or something recently on Instagram? I like the sunfish, just chill no matter what. I'm not sure what the sunfish is, because They probably have another name here in Sweden, but I'm not sure we have it either. So, between anyone here that listen to Racerbys lately, and for people who don't know Racer, Anna, Racerbys, it's a punk band. But if I should do a translation, the band title should be Racing Poop. Typical band name back in the days. So, hello Phoenix, how are you? Mm, yeah, I don't think we should need to be copies. We should be able to be ourselves, like I said, because it's a little like a golf when they try to put you in one box. Even YouTube try to put YouTube channels in just one box. You should stick to just one type of content. But I never want to do that. I'm golf, but I do have other interests too. And I do a lot of other stuff too. So I want my channel. I don't want to have like 10 different channels for everything I do or interesting of, because that's not me. I am more complex than that. I'm a person that is more than just one box. I want to be outside the box too. So yeah. But they had silly name. Pretty good, thanks. You okay? Yeah, I'm very fine. I had a calm Midsummer Eve because that was the biggest holiday during the whole year in Sweden at least. But we didn't do much. We were watching some movie, at least one of the latest about Jack Ryan. If you have read about Tom Clancy's book, so the last one we watched yesterday. I don't use AI on my Instagram, so algorithm don't push my content, but I know I make music that is real and makes people happy. Yeah, but it's up to you. I think if you use AI in the right type of way, it could be like a good thing, but as it's evolved right now, it's taking over too much and in the wrong way. And it's rich people want to just be rich on using AI and build AI, so that's wrong too. So but healthcare system, if they can discover faster if you have some diseases and that type of thing, help the doctors and specialists and everything to find things faster and more secure, then it's a good thing. And if it can help people that maybe don't have all the possibilities to do stuff on their own, but to say, never tell that you use the AI for doing your things, then it's not honest, because you're not supposed to gain money on something and pretend you made it when you used AI for it, for an example. So got a CD with several Swedish punk groups. Yeah, my favorite band was actually Ebba Grön. So when it comes to the punk, so yeah, but I think it still depends on how you're using AI robot. You can't say it's just anti all the time. It depends on what you're using. You have to think about the golf thoughts around it. I think it's more that when you take it over and you try to conquer out the real bands, the real artists, but you don't even want to tell that it's AI, if you know what I mean. But if you use it in the right type of way for helping other stuff, I don't think golf gonna go against that. It still depends on what you're using it for and what your back thoughts is about. If it's about earning money, loads of money on it, but you don't want to do anything to create it on your own way, then it's totally wrong. And if you build it too big so it destroy our nature, just look at the piece that they show from US about the big AI things that build up the centers, and you see how much is destroyed and how the population that live close to those areas now suffer. Then it's totally wrong too. We destroy more in that type of thing. See, I've lost something again. Yeah, but some people say they are interested in do-it-yourself things, but they actually don't want to watch those things either. So I think it's a little hard. You have so many golfs that say, "Oh, show us the do-it-yourself things and all this stuff," and golf YouTubers do it, even the bigger channels, and they realize people are not watching. They're not interesting when it really comes. They've been so fucking lazy. Excuse me, they are fucking lazy nowadays. They don't want to do things on their own. They don't even want to use the brain to think around things. How can we do those things? They want to have it the easy way out. It's not the generation before internet and everything like that. We needed to use this thing. We needed to do trials and errors till we succeeded. And if we were hurt or injured during that time, it was our own fault. At least we learned the lesson. It's gonna hurt if you do something wrong. Yeah, background is very good. So yeah, but Spotify have other bands too, Robert. Don't forget you have real artists there too, and sometimes it's maybe the few things that some people can afford. I can't afford to go to Bandcamp, for example, because it should cost me too much. I don't even have anything that could store all the music if I only went to the approved one for some people. For me, Spotify is a way to keep my music alive without having to have a lot of things or pay a lot of things that with money I don't really have. I don't know about Swedish punk. I like Swedish metal. Dove, Arch Enemies are cool. Yeah, but it's other great bands too that is from Sweden, and so Death Stars is one you can check up if you like Arch Enemy and those type of things. So take a look at them. And of course you have the Viking metal band Amon Amarth, really good to watch live too. So yeah, but you can always prove them wrong, Anna, if you haven't done it with any AI too. It's just that you need to prove it to get people to shut up in that case. So yeah, they have, but we have always used other technology too to do things too. So don't remember everything evolves. Just look at the old movies and old photographs. In the beginning, we didn't use any computer programs to make them better. There were people sitting there and doing by hand. Most people today don't even know how to do that type of things anymore. It was a dying speciality to do that type of photos and things by hand without any computer programs. So the question is, where is the limit? And where is the limit when we have passed what is approved? But we can't be totally anti because everything gonna evolve. But we need to do it in the right way. And we need to be honest if we use those tools. If we say that, oh, I did everything on my own, but I didn't use anything, then of course it's wrong. But if you, like I said, when I do my intros and do my lyrics, and if I've been able to do more my own singing too, then it should be much better because I can't play that much. I've forgotten how to play on a guitar. I played guitar when I was younger, but I don't have any guitar anymore, so I haven't even practiced. It's expensive to get a good one too. So for me, it's a way to get around YouTube's copyright strikes because they are ridiculous sometimes. So then you have to do something. And I don't want to talk every time when I do things because sometimes I want to do something so people don't get bored to just hear me talking about it and it takes forever before I'm ready. If it's a makeup look, I'm gonna keep on forever. At least for the one that is not patient, the TikTok generation is not gonna be patient to sit there for maybe up to 1.5 hours to watch me do a makeup look, for an example. So then I want to have some music, and if I can't use music from YouTube that you can find on YouTube, so then I have to do something. I use AI, but I do my own lyrics. I write everything my own. And if I could and didn't have to pay for putting my voice on it, I should add my voice too. Or at least let AI learn how my voice sounds so it sounds like me at least. But it costs money too, and I don't want to pay for all things. But I'm always honest about that. I have written the lyrics, but AI did the music and maybe the voices too in most cases. But if you have a video with music, I do the video myself, so it's nothing AI have done. The video itself is my own creativity too. So yeah. Hello, Mike Wolf. Yeah, of course it can't understand how a human is. Why should it? But can we really understand what an AI is too? So we don't know. And just look at the movies like Terminator and everything. It's very close to that type of living we have now. And see how the world goes with all the madness too. So what don't say that we maybe have all that fulfilling prophecia from those movies too about humans against the machines. So You're just a dinosaur. We can be a dinosaur in different kind of ways. It's just that how we attach to the quality. It's like people back in the days thought that synthesizer was a type of cheating way too for bands. Or you have a drum machine. Why don't you have a drummer? You have a drum machine. Don't forget that, Robert. It's always something that's gonna be like a cheating way for others, but it can still help if you use it in the right way. So, coffee sorrows. Spintronics gives me hope. Claytronic is scary. Yeah, but everything can be scary when we don't understand it or if people are using it in the wrong type of way. So I think be honest about what you're using and don't try to earn money or something you haven't even put any effort in. You try to take the easy way out because then it's not good. So it's a little like buying things from cheaper places and then you sell it for much more money on Etsy, for an example. That we have seen happening too, because the people that have done the crafting and that type of things from start by their own hands have seen how the shops on Etsy too change it to be something that they recognize things from much cheaper quality and that type of thing, but they still sell it like they have done everything on their own. And sometimes even they put together two things and then they sell it very expensive. And I'm thinking, I have bought the same things. I know exactly how much you maximum have paid for it. Why should I pay that much for it when you haven't even done the other bits on it? You have hardly done any work on it. You put it together with one ring maybe, and then say, okay, I have an accessory, I have a jewelry, I have a necklace. I put together a panel with a chain. That's what I did. And I'm gonna sell it for a fortune. That is cheating too, because you didn't do anything work directly on it. It takes not even 5 minutes to put it together. Not less than 1 minute too. So I think no matter how we look at things, it's gonna be people thinking you're cheating. Back in the days, drum machines was a cheating way too, because it didn't use a drummer. Synthesizer was a way to cheating too, because you could program a lot of things. So it could be just one person on the stage and be like a whole band. It's still that thing going on. But people don't protest, nobody's against that, not even inside the goth scene. So we need to rethink things. As long as we use it in good ways and are honest how we use it, then it can be approved. But it still is, what is the thoughts about that? Is it about gaining money in an easy way out without doing anything yourself or not? What's weird is when people start to want to have relationship with it. That is weird, that I can agree about. But it's a little like all those mechanic dolls, the marry those mechanic dolls, robots too. So my friend does craft stores and complains about that she makes all her by hand. Yeah, but she maybe do a lot of bits on her own. And people don't realize that if you're gonna do everything from more or less scratch, it's gonna take time, it's gonna cost more, you probably want better quality because you don't want to sell something for an expensive money and it's started to turn color and color people's skin green or something. It's little like when you read some of the things when you're gonna buy jewelry that it says, don't use it in the shower, don't use it blah blah blah, don't use it when it rain or when you sweat or something like that. And I'm thinking, okay, if I'm gonna pay much money for my necklace or whatever I wear and I can't use it when I'm sweating, I'm gonna sweat if I go on a club. I'm gonna sweat because I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna listen to music, I'm gonna be in a crowd. It's probably gonna be during summertime too sometimes, so it's gonna be hot. And if I'm outside, of course it's gonna rain, and sometimes I forget to take things off when I go to the shower too. So why should I pay that much if I can't even go into the shower or be on a club without risking it to be destroyed? Try to ChatGPT. Yeah. Let's go ahead. I have relationship with a chainsaw, the lawnmower. But that's good relationships, and at least I hope so. If you're not some type of the chainsaw massacre and something like that, then maybe it's not that good relationship. But if you just keep it to the wooden part around your farm or something, then I guess it's approved, Anna. So you don't have to worry about your bits about those tools. I like the gothic humor. Yeah, but you never know, Robert. Many tools nowadays have some bits of AI creation behind it too, so even instruments gonna be that probably in the future too. So computers definitely, your phone definitely. Even if you say that you have taken everything off, it's still gonna be there in the background, no matter what. Because if you've been inserted once, it's a little like when people feel it's safe to take down things from internet, but you always leave a trace, no matter what. The people that know how to find it will find it one day, but it might take some effort to get it. So, you know, I did already 19. I went engineer education in Sweden when I was between 16 and 20 years old. I read 4 years. El telecommunication, it says. And the last year, my project for school was to, I didn't do any physical type of things. I did writing type of things. And I was actually writing about humans and the robotics and that type of automation and other things, evolution. And already back then I said this is gonna be a big problem in the future because they're gonna take away a lot of jobs. It's gonna do other things too, even if it's good in one case, but I don't think it's gonna go the good way in that type of case. So I already back in 98, 87, 88, before computers came and internet. We didn't have that much back then. It was very simple computers in the school, and if we had even internet in the 90s and that, it was very slow and very long and not even comparable what we have even on the phones today. So I already predicted back then that this gonna go in a bad way. I don't think it's gonna go in a good way, even if many gonna believe that. And my teacher that was the main one to judge our projects, no matter if it was a physical or on the writing part. So he said he had to read it twice to understand what I was writing, but he said after he read the second time, he said it's a really good one. So I got a very good grade on it. But he said you don't write it as a technician, you write it like a person that into the human part of sight, with the side of the human parts. So that's what making it much more harder for him to that. But you always also have it back when you see Orwell or something like that when he wrote 1984. So it was predicted already that something's gonna happen with the mankind. So oh, I don't have that clever washing machine, and I just put it on and know how long time it's gonna be, and just listening after it, beep beep, and then I know it's ready. So yeah, but you see, it's not that hard really because everything is gonna go a long way, and that's a really good song too, Gary. The 80s. I like that one with Killing Joke. So. Um, Oh, thank you, Phoenix. Maybe people don't expect that from that, but I think that's also one of the simulation about goths too, at least from my old younger days, that because they thought that we were freaks or maybe Satanists and everything like that called us and shouted at us, and they never expected that we were clever. But most people I knew back in the day, they always had some type of very high work levels. So it was not that simple working on the floor in an industry in most cases. So they actually have very good work and education. So people were judging the cover of the book before they even read what was inside. So it's a little like that people don't maybe expect me to be an engineer, even if I don't have the higher graduation. But at least I have an engineer title if I want to use it. So yeah, your dad maybe was clever in that type of way. So yeah, but I think we can probably argue who was the first about the argument about things. But if you think about it, all the thoughts, even when it comes to the Egyptian pyramids and that type of thing, they said that they were built in such a advanced way compared with what we think people back in the days, because they didn't have all the technique thing we have today, but they still delivered those things and they're still standing. And I think is things from outer space that maybe come and doing those stuff. It was maybe not created by humans. So think about it. Maybe it started already much more early than we ever expected. Maybe it was not something that came from the humans. Maybe it was just a seed planted in us that one day, you maybe catch up with our intelligence. Yeah, but you never know. You never know. And there's so much interesting thoughts when it comes, especially when you come back in all the antiques and that type of things. Just think of it, what they built and what they created by their hands, and things that maybe today also takes still a long time to do. But they did it, and they didn't even use what we had to do. And they did it in a way with so exactly things. We can't hardly do it today with what we have. You can tell more about that if it's not too hard to write about it, Anna. So I should be interested to see what you're talking about that. See what Max is writing here. Speed of light coordinates, swings of pyramids, I think. I don't think Mary Shelley was the first one either, Robert, but I think she was one of the first that have some different type of thoughts about things. They might be intelligent, Robert, but just think about things, because it's not just them. You have in South America too, with the Incas and all that type of things too. We have things all around the world that people back in the days should have very struggled to even do even something close. And we today can't even do something that stands even for that long time, because our buildings is not built to last either. And we have everything we could use to get it to stay. Yeah, but we never know. Maybe they are, and maybe we still have some around us now. We never know. Or maybe they're giving up because we can. This was a bad project. We have to leave now. If we put a red flag here, it's gonna crash. It's gonna crash. It's like a computer going when the mother card just stopped working. Yeah, I agree with you, Phoenix. It's so incredible to see what they actually did back in the days, because they didn't have all the kind of stuff we have today. They just used what they had, their own bodies, more or less. Yeah, but who learned? Who was the one that teach them about using those things? I don't think they just came up with that on their own. So that's the theories. Where did they get all those things from? It's literally like Incas and that type of things too. So another very old cultures that we don't know anything about. We just have those old stories about lost cities, and just take Atlantis for an example, and we still try to find it and find which is the real Atlantis, for an example. So yeah, it's a lot we don't understand, Anna, and it's very, very interesting too. And just go back in time. We don't have to go that back in time and see what they did create back in the days by hand too. That it was very advanced, and today we struggle with doing it even with a machine. So either humans were so much more clever back in the days, or we getting much more dumber for every year. But there's some people that actually say that today's generation is actually one of the first to be actually more stupid than the generation before, because the generation always used to be better than the generation that was before. But now the latest generation is actually going in the wrong direction again. And that's what I think. If it's aliens that have helped us or some other type of power, they probably left this boat now because it's a sinking boat. Oh. Yeah, how will this end? We never know, Anna. We have to stay and see when the curtains go down. It goes down, and it's gonna be the end, or like we say in Sweden, slut, not slut, slut. Is the word for the end. I think that's funny when I can teach some Swedish word at the same time because that could be ridiculous too. So I think that's why Trevor also struggle with some of the Swedish too sometimes. Yeah, reversed evolution. I think it is actually. So, and I think much of that also have to do with that kids today is not allowed to be kids in the same way like when I grew up that we actually had to do things on our own. We didn't have phones. We didn't have techniques in that other way. We had to go outside and do things. Yeah, very true. I agree with Phoenix. We must be so disappointed of this project and said, this world, no, we have to go, we need to find a new project. Can we find a planet that's so long away from this galaxy so we can start all over again from scratch and see if we succeed a bit better with them so, so we don't fail this big. Oh, oh dear. Yeah, it's funny. And I need to think, it's soon food time for me again, so I'm not sure how long more I'm gonna there. But it's just a spontaneous feed because I'm off. I'm probably gonna do something more during my vacation, especially if it's bad weather. But still expecting the fun day. It haven't reached us yet, so I'm a little curious to go out and check how it looks like on the sky too, to see if it's coming or not. Do you have any thunder, Anna? Or is it taking a... It's not going over your part of the country? Anna is from southern part of Sweden, much more south than I am, so... I'm on the southwest side of Sweden, close to Gothenburg. I live a little more inside into the country bit itself. Gothenburg is on the coast bit, so. But Anna is on the southern part, so. Sentinel Islands phenomenon. Yeah. That's why the engineers created the aliens. I don't think they created the aliens, Robert. I think the aliens created the engineers. Weird and dangerous subcultures of young people already. Yeah, I agree with you, Anna. They probably did. I think though, this is hilarious. It's like watching Absolutely Fabulous, but in a very slow and boring way instead. Or the young ones. We are boring, we are boring. It's sunny now, but I do not know if it's going to be fun or not. Here it's very muggy right now, and it was very sunny 7 a.m., but already 8 a.m. it was dark, like it was late in the evening, and it's still very muggy. I know it started to come raindrops there, but they said around 12, 1 o'clock it might come in or something if it haven't changed again. We don't know, but I hope it comes because it's very muggy now, so I hope so. And I would love to see a real thunder too, because I think it's amazing. I have big respect for thunder, but I do love watching it too, so if I'm in a safe place. My ex was from Gothenburg. Yeah, that's the best town ever. It's even known as Little London, so then you maybe understand that it's a good place to be. But yeah, like I said, it's closing on to feeding time for me because I have done a gastric bypass. I need to eat during a certain times. So I think actually I'm gonna finish this chat, and I hope everybody have a good midsummer or solstice or whatever you celebrate. And thank you for being here, and stay safe, stay weird, and be nice to each other. And hello, Dizzy. I'm just gonna finish this live stream soon. Maybe I have to catch up in something else then. So just stay safe and thank you for watching. Love you all. Big off hugs. Bye.